I heard the story that Peter Jackson especially asked for your participation in the movie game. Could you please tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, it was quite a surprise, in fact, because when Ubisoft asked me to work on King Kong, I didn't know that in fact it was because Peter Jackson already played Beyond Good and Evil, our previous game, and was interesting in the fact of working with the kind of team we had. I would not say exactly Michele Ancel's team, but this kind of team. So when I met him in Los Angeles in January 2004, it was a big surprise to see him interested in video games, playing games, and especially Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes, so that must be a great honor for you. Because Peter Jackson at the moment is one of the hippest directors, I think.
Yeah, he was receiving Golden Globes and so it was quite impressive to meet him. But just because he's playing games, it was very the relationship was quite simple. It was more about gaming than the movies and other things.
Isn't it a big pressure to work on a game which has a really fixed release date when you do a movie tie-in? Because normally games get delayed, and now you have to be at the same time when the movie starts?
Yeah, of course, it's yes. I think it's one of the big difficulty is the fact that it has to be on time. And I used to make games double. I used to need 2 times more time for making my games. And so for this one, we really have to cut where it's needed. And I think that even if the game is not so much long, it's not a 20 hours game, it's more 10, maybe more hours of gaming. It still have the high quality we expected it to have.
I read an article in Edge magazine about King Kong. There you stated that with this game you tried a mixture of a more or less fixed plot, because it's a movie license, and a more non-linear Amagen gameplay, which changes a little bit every time you play it. But isn't that a contradiction?
Not really, because it's a question of scale, or it's like a fractal effect. So I think that games are you could have a game, yes, very open, but with the same action, chasing with a car or killing people. And you can have a game like Crash Bandicoot, for example, very linear, but the way you act in terms of short-term action is very different. You can select right, left, using this weapon or not. So even if it's linear, it can be, I would say, having a certain amount of freedom.
So this kind of Amagen gameplay depends on the artificial intelligence of the other characters. In the answer to the first question, you mentioned Beyond Good and Evil, and were you disappointed that this game, though everybody loved it, wasn't the commercial success it perhaps deserved to be? Or are you, do you say, I'm a game designer, this is my piece of art and it's great and I don't care how many people actually play it?
It's always interesting to try to know if it's what do you want? Do you want commercial success or do you want personal achievement? I could have replaced the camera with a gun, and I could have made a woman a little bit more sexy. It's not about work, it's not about ideas. It could have been simple, and maybe it would have said more. But I would have not been very proud of the results, because I think that making games for everybody, or making games like other games, it's not as much satisfying as making a game that, until now I've got people talking to me about this game, as being a game that they've never played before. I think that it's a great reward. The only thing is that it's very hard to make a sequel when the first one is not selling so much. So, but at the same time, I think if the sequel costs not so much, if it's well done in terms of timing and team, it's possible.
Do you take bad reviews personally? Bad reviews in magazines?
It depends. It's very important, I think, to know what you have done. If you know that sometimes in bad reviews I see mistakes we could have done or misunderstanding with the person who have been playing the game. But it's always, most of the time it's because of something we must have been making wrong, in fact. I would say now with time and time I've been making successful game like Rayman, and I've been making interesting game like Beyond Good and Evil, and I don't really care about the fact that it could be pleased to people or not. The journalists or not. The most important thing for me is to be sure that it will be okay for the consumer. So to me, it's very important that the player will be satisfied.
Yeah. The games you make, the games you design, tell us something about you
Of
as
course.
a person.
Yes, of course. I think it's always connected because when I did Rayman, it was really was in a very creative mood, you know, and the world of Rayman is full of it's full of very direct creation and simple and sometimes a little bit stupid, but it is like it came, you know, not a lot of thinking behind this game. I was quite young because it's now 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. So I was 22 when I tried designing the Rayman, 21, 22. And when I worked on Beyond Good and Evil, it was more, you know, there's a big story behind this game.
With press censorship and totally state.
Yeah, and I was really thinking about war at this time, Iraq war, the propaganda with all the media and all these things, and I was involved in the fact of making a game with a reporter, with journalists, and about I would say propaganda and things like that. So it's really depending on the mood of the creators.
Do you think the medium video game can be used to raise political issues?
I think yes. I think that games are just virtual anything.
Yeah.
You know, you can with games you can make a 3D Tetris, which is very abstract, and you can make very realistic World War II game.
Yeah.
So you can express everything. Yeah. So it's a way to express yourself. I think that today it's just commercial. Games are just commercial products, but games can be a way to express. I don't know if you have played the game. There was an interesting game, a flash game based on Iraq war.
Yeah.
Where you throw bombs. When you throw bombs on a village, you have you can kill a terrorist, but maybe you will kill other people, and then they will want to revenge these people, and then if you have more terrorists, so you try to kill them with bombs. But then you have more and more terrorists because they want to revenge their family and etc.
So it never ends. You always lose.
Yeah, you always lose.
Yeah.
And it was a kind of political game. And I seen this game while I was doing Good and Evil, and I thought it was really, I would say, simple and obvious, and you can understand the mechanism. In fact, games allow the player to understand the way it works. It's not just looking at TV and having the result. It's the mechanism before the result. And just because you play it, you understand it far more than just having the result.